O local onde foi encontrada essas amostras é um local de preservação permanente do Brasil, Parcel das Tartarugas, que é a próxima área de maior desova de tartaruga verde do Brasil. Tem uma biodiversidade única, com espécies endêmicas de peixe, recife de corais, aves marinhas, espécies protegidas de caranguejo, por exemplo.
Rainforests teeming with undiscovered viruses, volcanic islands choked by plastic rocks, and prisons where hardened criminals become fashion designers. Believe it or not, these aren't scenes from a sci-fi movie, but real discoveries hidden within the heart of Brazil. Textbooks might tell you about the Amazon rainforest or the bustling city of Rio, but there is a whole other side to this vibrant country, filled with tales that defy expectations. Are you ready to explore the untamed corners of Brazil and unearth the wild wonders that lie hidden beneath the surface? Fishing with dolphins. Along the sunny coast of Brazil, in the city of Laguna, there exists an amazing partnership between people and dolphins. Every morning, fishermen wade into the shallow ocean, their nets slung over their shoulders. But they aren't alone. They are waiting for their special helpers to show up. These helpers are bottlenose dolphins. The water is cloudy and murky, making it hard for the fishermen to see the fish hiding below. But the dolphins, with their amazing underwater vision, can easily spot them. Here's where the real teamwork begins. The dolphins will herd the fish towards the shore, using their bodies and clever clicks and whistles to keep them together. Once the fish are close enough, the fishermen get a signal from their dolphin companions. It might be a special splash of the tail, a quick flash of a fin, or a series of clicks and whistles that only experienced ears can understand. As soon as the fishermen receive the message, they know it's time for action. With a practiced swing, they cast their large nets into the water, hoping to scoop up a bounty of fish. The results speak for themselves. When the dolphins are around, the fishermen's nets bulge with plump, silvery fish. On days when the dolphins are absent, the fishermen say it's pointless to even try. Without their help, the fish are too scattered and difficult to find. The exact origin of this unique tradition remains a mystery, and no one is quite sure what the dolphins get out of it. Some scientists believe that the dolphins benefit from having the fishermen's nets nearby. The commotion created by the nets is believed to confuse the fish, making them easier targets for the dolphins, especially the bigger, faster ones they might struggle to catch alone. Whatever the reason, the dolphins seem happy with the arrangement. The same ones return year after year to participate in this fishy teamwork. The fishermen have even grown so familiar with their underwater partners that they've given them names. In the end, this partnership seems to benefit everyone involved. The fishermen get a good haul, the dolphins enjoy a tasty meal, and the cycle continues. Well, everyone except for the fish, of course. They might not be too thrilled about this whole arrangement, but that's the circle of life in the waters off Laguna. Brazil's ancient pyramids. For centuries, the construction of the Egyptian pyramids has fueled wild speculation. Many folks have scratched their heads and wondered how, with just the technology of the ancient world, such enormous structures were built. Moving massive stones seems an impossible feat without cranes or forklifts. Wild theories fly around, with some even suggesting aliens or magical creatures were involved. Well, forget spaceships and fairy dust for a moment, because over in Brazil there is a much more down-to-earth example of an ancient pyramid building that doesn't need any far-fetched explanations. These impressive structures aren't made of stone blocks, though. Instead, they consist of layer upon layer of seashells, dirt, and bones. These are called sambaquis, and they have been around for 8,000 years. For a long time, archaeologists simply assumed these mounds were just giant piles of discarded waste that grew over time. Some of these accidental garbage heaps reached a staggering height of 50 meters. That is nearly as tall as a modern-day 16-story building. Thankfully, recent research has shed light on the true purpose of these incredible structures. It turns out the sambaquis were not haphazard trash dumps, but rather meticulously constructed monuments. This revelation rewrites history, making them strong contenders for the title of the world's oldest pyramids. Sadly, due to the readily available materials they provided, many sambaquis have been plundered for use in road construction. Only about 10% of these ancient wonders remain today, serving as a stark reminder of the importance of archaeological preservation. So what exactly were these sambakis used for? Well, archaeologists have uncovered some clues. There's strong evidence that they played a role in funeral practices, possibly even as burial sites for the dead, much like the Egyptian pyramids we are familiar with. This suggests that the people who built these structures had a much more complex and developed society than we previously thought. They weren't just throwing away leftovers. They were creating impressive monuments that tell a story about their beliefs and way of life. So next time you think about pyramids, remember they're not just limited to Egypt, and they can be made out of some pretty surprising things. Jalapõo's hidden rock art. Deep in the heart of Brazil's Jalapão State Park, archaeologists stumbled upon a hidden treasure trove. Between 2022 and 2023, they unearthed a massive collection of rock carvings, some more than 2,000 years old. The archaeologists, affiliated with Brazil's National Institute of Historic and Artistic Heritage, embarked on 3 separate expeditions, meticulously combing the cliffs. Their persistence paid off in a spectacular way. Across 16 different pre-colonial archaeological sites, all huddled close together on the rocky cliffs, they found a mesmerizing collection of rock carvings. Among the most captivating finds were engravings of human footprints, a reminder of the people who once walked the land. Images of animals, like deer and wild pigs, hinted at the creatures that shared their environment. Perhaps most intriguing were the celestial body-like figures, sparking questions about the ancient people's understanding of the cosmos. The technique used to create these engravings involved wearing down the rock surface, likely with pointed stones or sharpened wood. But the story doesn't end there. At some of the sites, the team also stumbled upon a handful of red paintings. These appeared to be older than the engravings, suggesting a different cultural group may have left their mark earlier. The presence of both paintings and engravings raises exciting questions about the potential interactions between these past communities. What makes this discovery truly rare and important, as archaeologists have emphasized, is the lack of previous evidence from Jalapõo's pre-colonial indigenous peoples. Until now, our understanding of their lives relied solely on stone artifacts. These rock carvings offer a whole new dimension, a visual language that speaks volumes about their beliefs, their connection to the natural world, and their artistic expression. While the full significance of the Jalapão rock art is yet to be fully unraveled, its similarities to other archaeological sites across Brazil offer valuable clues. By comparing these finds, researchers can begin to piece together a broader picture of the artistic traditions and cultural connections that existed in ancient South America. Dinosaur tracks and ancient petroglyphs in Paraíba. Imagine stumbling upon ancient artwork etched onto a rocky canvas, existing side by side with the fossilized footprints of long-extinct giants. This is exactly what unfolded in Brazil's Paraíba state, where prehistoric people left their mark right next to dinosaur footprints. The site, known as Serrote do Letreiro, has become a focal point for archaeologists and historians alike. The first signs of these intriguing rock carvings, called petroglyphs by archaeologists, were spotted back in 1975. However, recent technological advancements have shed new light on their significance. Utilizing drones for detailed field surveys, researchers uncovered a wealth of previously unseen petroglyphs nestled amongst the dinosaur tracks. These dinosaur footprints hail from the Cretaceous period, which ended 66 million years ago. While Serrote do Letreiro isn't the only place where rock art exists near dinosaur prints, the remarkable clarity of the association here holds immense potential. This discovery could have significant ripple effects across various fields, including paleontology, archaeology, and cultural heritage studies. It opens a door to a deeper understanding of how these ancient peoples might have perceived and interacted with the world around them. The exact age of the petroglyphs remains shrouded in mystery. However, radiocarbon dating of nearby burial sites suggests they were created by tribes dwelling in the area 9,000 years ago. Imagine the stories these people might have told around campfires, their imaginations sparked by the presence of these fossilized footprints. The artistic styles of the petroglyphs themselves are quite diverse, hinting at the work of multiple artists. Some carvings depict shapes reminiscent of plants, perhaps reflecting the flora that sustained these communities. Others showcase geometric forms, squares, rectangles, and circles, some even containing intricately etched crosses or lines within them. These circles could potentially represent celestial bodies like stars, offering a glimpse into the people's belief systems and their connection to the cosmos. Unfortunately, the true meaning behind these symbolic markings remains a puzzle waiting to be solved. Life in the favelas. Rio de Janeiro's iconic landscape isn't just about the world-famous beaches and the towering Christ the Redeemer statue. Nestled within the city's embrace lies a network of communities known as favelas. These shanty towns, often clinging to steep hillsides, house a significant portion of the city's population, roughly 1.4 million people, or about 1/5 of Rio's residents. While poverty can sometimes stifle opportunity, the favelas have also fostered a unique spirit of resilience and resourcefulness. Historically, however, these densely packed communities faced significant challenges. Limited access to basic services and economic opportunities often pushed some residents towards crime, making these areas notoriously dangerous. Recognizing this, the Brazilian government embarked on an ambitious program in recent years called pacification. This initiative involved strategically deploying police forces to dismantle drug gangs and establish a stronger sense of security. But pacification wasn't solely about law enforcement. It also focused on improving the physical infrastructure of the favelas. This meant building new, sturdy houses and creating safe pathways throughout the neighborhoods. Believe it or not, even a simple concrete staircase can make a huge difference in your daily life when you're climbing a mountainside to get home. The results of the program have been promising. Crime rates have dropped significantly in many favelas, fostering a newfound sense of security. This transformation, however, has also given rise to an unexpected phenomenon: favela tourism. Santa Marta, the first favela to undergo pacification, has become a pioneer in this burgeoning industry. Here, some residents have embraced the opportunity to act as tour guides, offering visitors a glimpse into their community for a fee. Despite the undeniable improvements, the favelas retain their distinct character. The exteriors of many homes, constructed from cinder blocks and wood, still reflect a modest lifestyle. Step inside, however, and you might be surprised to find flat-screen TVs and modern kitchens. This juxtaposition highlights the evolving nature of these communities, a blend of tradition and progress. The visits of celebrities like Madonna and Beyoncé have further thrust the favelas into the spotlight, sparking conversations about poverty and social transformation. Favelas for dogs. Located amidst the bustling city of Caxias do Sul, Brazil, lies a unique kind of favela, one not for people, but for hundreds of abandoned dogs. This one-of-a-kind haven was created by Sociedade Amiga dos Animais, a local animal welfare charity whose name translates to just love. Driven by compassion for the city's stray dog population, Sociedade Amiga dos Animais faced a heartbreaking reality: a lack of funds to build a traditional animal shelter. Undeterred, Sociedade Amiga dos Animais got creative and resourceful. They constructed a network of simple, yet functional dog houses on their 3-acre property. While not ideal, these shacks provide basic protection from the elements for the over 1,600 dogs the charity cares for. Each month, the charity goes through an impressive 13 tons of food to keep these canine residents well-nourished. Sadly, the harsh reality of pet adoption comes into play. Many potential adopters are drawn to the allure of adorable purebred puppies. The older, mixed-breed dogs, often referred to as mongrels, face an uphill battle in finding their forever homes. The struggle is real for Sociedade Amiga dos Animais. The financial burden of caring for so many animals is immense. Donations and government assistance simply aren't enough to cover the ever-growing costs of food, veterinary care, and other necessities. The founder of the charity grapples with a constant weight: the desire to provide a more comfortable and enriching environment for the dogs, coupled with the harsh reality that the alternative could be far worse. Turning these animals away would condemn them to a life, or perhaps even death, on the unforgiving streets. Sociedade Amiga dos Animais, despite the limitations, stands as a beacon of hope, offering these dogs a second chance at a life filled with love and care. Faces on Rock. In 2023, a scorching drought gripped Brazil, causing river levels to plunge dramatically. This environmental crisis revealed a hidden treasure along the Amazon's north shore. What it revealed was a collection of rock carvings depicting human faces. The discovery site, named Ponto das Lajes, lies near the confluence of the Rio Negro and Solimões rivers, not far from the bustling city of Manaus. The etchings weren't entirely new. Some, along with depictions of animals, had been glimpsed back in 2010. But the 2023 drought proved far more severe. The Rio Negro, a vital tributary of the Amazon, dropped 15 meters, exposing vast stretches of rocky riverbed and sandy beaches where water once flowed. This ecological upheaval unveiled the previously submerged artwork, offering a glimpse into the lives of people who inhabited the region millennia ago. While archaeologists haven't been able to pinpoint the exact age of the engravings, they believe them to be prehistoric or pre-colonial, based on evidence of past human settlements in the area. The estimated age range falls between 1,000 and 2,000 years old, hinting at a rich artistic tradition within this ancient Amazonian community. The discovery presents a bittersweet picture. While the drought brought hardship, it also opened a window into the past, allowing us to connect with the long-lost people who once called this land home. Ancient cemetery in São Luís. A chance discovery in northeastern Brazil rewrote the history of human settlement in the region. In 2019, archaeologists unearthed a vast indigenous cemetery during construction work for a government housing program in São Luís, the capital of Maranhão state. This wasn't your typical construction site delay. It was a doorway into the past, holding the remains of a previously unknown ancestral community. The initial dig, which started in June 2019, yielded a treasure trove of fragmented pottery and stone tools. But the true revelation came amidst the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Just 24 inches below the surface, archaeologists unearthed the first skeleton. This first discovery was just the beginning. Over the course of the excavation, the team uncovered a total of 43 skeletons and 100,000 artifact fragments. These artifacts, scattered across at least 4 distinct sediment layers, hinted at a rich history. The sheer number of layers suggested the site had been frequented by people across multiple eras, potentially spanning a time frame of up to 8,500 years. The deepest buried skeleton, found nearly 7 feet underground, held the key to unlocking the earliest chapter of this story. Using a technique called optically stimulated luminescence dating, archaeologists were able to determine when the minerals surrounding the bones were last exposed to sunlight or heat. The results were astonishing, placing the skeleton within a time frame of 7,000 to 10,000 years ago. The skeletons themselves offered further clues about this ancient community. They were generally short in stature, with the tallest individual reaching just 5 feet, 3 inches. Interestingly, most of the remains belonged to adult males, with only 2 children identified. A closer look at the bones revealed markings that hinted at a life of physical exertion. These people were likely involved in strenuous activities, their bodies bearing the signs of extensive mobility and load-bearing tasks. Today, the São Luís Cemetery continues to serve as a window into a forgotten past. It revealed a previously unknown ancestral community, predating the well-documented Sambaquians, coastal hunter-gatherers who dominated the region historically. This discovery challenged our understanding of human settlement in Maranhão, pushing the timeline back thousands of years and offering a glimpse into the lives of those who walked this land millennia ago. Lotus Flower Project. Arisvaldo de Campos Pires is a maximum security facility located a good 160 kilometers away from the bustling city of Rio de Janeiro. Here, guards take their jobs very seriously, patrolling the halls with shotguns hidden beneath their black balaclavas. But beneath this seemingly harsh exterior, something unexpected is blooming. A project that's not only helping a local business, but also offering inmates a chance to turn their lives around. This project, known as the Lotus Flower Project, was the brainchild of a creative entrepreneur named Raquel Guimarães. Guimarães, a Brazilian fashion designer, was facing a unique kind of problem. Her business was booming, her designs were in high demand, but she just couldn't find enough skilled knitters to keep up with production. She needed a solution, and it struck her in a way no one could have predicted. Instead of looking for experienced workers on the outside, she set her sights on an unlikely pool of talent, the very inmates of Arisvaldo de Campos Pires. Guimarães knew these men had a reputation. They were considered some of Brazil's toughest criminals. but she also saw a potential that others might have missed. She believed that with the right guidance and opportunity, these individuals could not only learn a valuable skill, but also contribute to something positive. So, she approached the prison authorities with her idea. The idea was simple yet ingenious. Guimaraes would train the inmates in knitting and crocheting, the skills needed to create her beautiful garments. In exchange for their work, the inmates would be financially compensated. They would receive 75% of Brazil's minimum wage, with a portion of their earnings held back until their release. This would ensure they had a financial safety net upon re-entering society. But the rewards went beyond just money. For every 3 days spent crafting high-fashion pieces from soft wool, the inmates would also be granted a day shaved off their sentence. This project offered a glimmer of hope for both Guimaraes and the inmates. For Guimaraes, it meant a chance to expand her business and fulfill the growing demand for her designs. But for the inmates, it was an opportunity unlike any they had ever had before. They were being given the chance to learn a valuable skill, one that could provide them with a legitimate source of income upon their release. More importantly, they were being given a sense of purpose, a chance to contribute something positive to the world, a world that might have otherwise written them off. Indigenous heroes of the Amazon. The Amazon rainforest faces a constant battle for survival, and while human deforestation is a major threat, there's another, even fiercer enemy lurking: nature's own wildfires. Every year, these blazes devour far more rainforest than anything humans can manage. The sheer scale of the Amazon is a firefighter's worst nightmare. In Brazil alone, the rainforest stretches across an area 6 times the size of Texas. That means a single fire crew of just 5 men could be assigned an area as vast as England. Confronting these infernos is a brutal, hands-on affair. There's no fancy equipment here. The only way to tackle flames snaking through the dense undergrowth is the old-fashioned way, beating them back with sticks until they're extinguished. The Amazon itself throws another hurdle at firefighters. The oppressive humidity creates a constant sauna, with temperatures hovering around 80 degrees Fahrenheit even without a raging fire. Just to reach the blaze, firefighters might have to spend hours hacking their way through the dense rainforest with machetes. These unforgiving conditions demand peak physical fitness from Brazil's rural firefighters. But these brave men and women can't be everywhere at once. That's where the unsung heroes of the Amazon come in, the warriors of the indigenous tribes who call this vast rainforest home. These skilled individuals are more than willing to trade their traditional loincloths for the unfamiliar weight of fire-resistant overalls and gas masks. The knowledge of the forest they possess is invaluable, allowing them to navigate the dense undergrowth with ease. This partnership is a win-win. The firefighters play a crucial role in empowering these indigenous communities. By providing training and equipment, they equip the tribes to become the rainforest's first line of defense. If a fire erupts near their villages, they can now spring into action and extinguish it before it explodes into a monster. Even the cattle industry, which has historically been blamed for deforestation, stepped up to help. Recognizing the importance of preserving the rainforest, they began contributing private funding to these crucial projects. International collaboration is also on the rise, with organizations like the United States Forest Service offering their expertise and sending personnel to the Amazon to share their knowledge and experience. This united front, firefighters, indigenous warriors, ranchers, and international partners, is a glimmer of hope in the fight to save this irreplaceable ecosystem. Yara virus. In 2020, a scientific discovery sent shivers down the spines of researchers in Brazil. It wasn't another case of the frightening coronavirus that was dominating the news at the time, but something entirely new and unknown, a mysterious virus, unlike anything they had ever encountered. This puzzling pathogen emerged from an unlikely source, Lake Pampulha, an artificial lake located within the bustling Brazilian city of Belo Horizonte. The newfound virus was named Yara virus, a name inspired by Yara, a captivating yet dangerous figure from Brazilian folklore. Legends depict Yara as a beautiful mermaid who lured unsuspecting men to a watery grave. While the newly discovered Yara virus wasn't quite as dramatic, it did hold a mystery all its own. The discovery of Yara virus was purely accidental. Scientists were actually studying a different phenomenon in the lake, giant viruses that infect amoebas, single-celled organisms that thrive in moist environments. It was while examining these amoebas that the researchers stumbled upon the Yara virus. Intrigued by this unexpected find, the scientists decided to unlock the secrets hidden within Yara virus's genetic code. Using a technique called genome sequencing, they were able to map out the entire genetic makeup of the virus, revealing a total of 74 genes. Only 6 of these genes matched anything previously documented in scientific databases. The remaining 68 genes were entirely new to science. These unknown genes were nicknamed orphan genes, highlighting their mysterious origins. Despite having access to genetic information from over 8,500 different viruses from around the world, scientists couldn't find a close relative to Yara virus. This lack of a known lineage left them utterly perplexed. Their best guess was that Yara virus might represent the first discovery of an entirely new group of amoebal viruses, a group that had previously evaded scientific detection. The good news, however, was that Yara virus appeared to pose no threat to humans. Unlike the coronavirus that was causing global panic, Yara virus seemed to be specific to amoebas, with no ability to infect humans. While the mystery of Yara virus's origins and purpose remains unsolved, this discovery gives us a hint of the vast and largely unexplored world of viruses that exists around us, even in seemingly ordinary places like a man-made lake. Plastic rock. Trinidad Island is a volcanic island jutting out of the vast Atlantic Ocean. So remote it takes a 3 to 4 day boat trip from Brazil to reach its shores. It's a geologist's paradise, a place to study the raw, unadulterated forces that have shaped our planet for billions of years. Or at least, that's what geologist Fernanda Avelar Santos expected to find when she arrived in 2019. Santos wasn't there for sightseeing, though. She was on a scientific mission, researching landslides, erosion, and other geological threats for her doctoral thesis. Her research area was Turtle Beach, a protected nature reserve and the world's largest breeding ground for the endangered green turtle. As Santos meticulously studied the landscape, a peculiar sight caught her eye. A large outcrop of strangely green rocks. These weren't your typical volcanic rocks. They seemed off. Intrigued by this unexpected discovery, Santos collected a few samples to take back to her lab for further analysis after her 2-month expedition. Back in her lab, Santos and her team eagerly examined the green rocks. The results were startling. These weren't just rocks. They were a disturbing new kind of geological formation. Years of natural processes had been at work here, combining volcanic materials with the elements needed to form rocks. But there was a horrifying twist. These new rocks incorporated a new, unwelcome ingredient: plastic trash. Santos's discovery wasn't entirely unprecedented. Further research revealed similar plastic rock formations reported in other parts of the world since 2014, including places like Hawaii, Britain, Italy, and Japan. However, Trinidad Island presented a whole new level of concern. It was the most remote location yet, where plastic pollution had managed to infiltrate the geological processes of the island. The implications of this discovery were unsettling. As these plastic rocks erode over time, Santos fears they will release harmful microplastics back into the environment, further contaminating the delicate food chain of the island and potentially harming the wildlife, including the majestic green turtles who called Turtle Beach home. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.